stick around. There's a couple of microphones down here. You guys can come up to the microphone. Let's let the other half talk for a little bit.
Thank you, Joe. I kind of have a pretty similar story. I started smoking weed and drinking alcohol when I was about 15, freshman in high school. And it very quickly turned into pills, and then that turned into heroin. So I think I was 16 when I started doing heroin. I grew up in a completely normal household, played baseball my whole life, and I just went, the wrong way, and started doing heroin every single day, started stealing from my family. Just miserable lifestyle, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna really go into too much detail about that, but I went in and out of detox, in and out of jails, and then like Annie said, I had multiple warrants. I got arrested at my grandma's house, who I was tormenting for, years, and got arrested, and it came to a crossroads, you know what I mean? I had a son coming. I didn't know how to stop. It was either keep doing what I was doing or completely change my lifestyle, do a 180. And I got dropped off at a sober living house after I got out of jail. I was in jail for a week. Started living life, you know what I mean? I started looking for a job, which I couldn't hold a job for 2 weeks. Started looking for a job, and our son was on our way, I had to get some money, and I had a girlfriend that was trying to get in recovery too, and we just started living life. We had a lot of help with Judge Kearns and his staff, many other people. God put a lot of people in my life, a lot of people. And today, I don't live that miserable lifestyle, I'm a father, I'm an employee, I pay my own bills, my own car, just crazy stuff that I never thought I could do when I was in the disease, and it is a very cunning disease. And it's a one day at a time thing, it really is. And I just want to let anyone know that there is help out there, there really is help. If you have any questions after this, I'm always willing to answer any questions or be there for anyone that needs help. And that's really all I have, thank you.
Okay, the nenext speaker, as I alluded to, he was very instrumental in the startup of every specialty court here, Hope Court, Yo Court, and Wynn Court. He's been sitting on the bench since 1997. In 2005, he won a Nevada's Outstanding Judge of the Year award. And in 2013, he was the Supreme Court Legacy of Justice Court. Thanks.
I brought my stopwatch up here because Joe said I only get 10 minutes. And I haven't started yet, so if you raise your hand, we got some problems. And he told me that any time that Annie goes over her 2 minutes, she's coming from my 10 minutes. So thank you all. Like Annie said, I'm crazy. So Loretta, you admitted to a felony. I won't be arresting you, but my marshals will be here shortly. Just so you know, there is a bill up this year for naloxone, and it's got a lot of movement, and so it may be happening, so you're aware of that. We have an addiction problem. We have an addiction problem in the United States. And I'm not sure everybody can put in perspective how bad this problem is. So I'm going to try and put it in perspective in the 9 minutes and 52 seconds I have left. From the year 2001 to the year 2011, we have been at war with Afghanistan. At war, we try and shoot people, and they try and shoot us, and people try and die. We try and kill people, so we've been in war during that time. In the 10 years that we've been at war in Afghanistan, we've lost 2,000 American soldiers. In 10 years where people are supposed to die. According to the CDC, from 2005 to 2010, we've lost 200,000 Americans to drug overdose. That is half the time and 100 times the number of people. They predict that more than 50% of those are due to heroin or opiates. So let's really put this in perspective. Black Monday. What Black Monday is, it's awareness of drug addiction. And for everybody who's lost somebody, for every year that they are gone, in some places they release black balloons. Here we do carnations. But there's a carnation or a balloon for every loved one that's been lost. So if we take that 5 years from 2005 and 2010, and we just average it out for the 18 years I've been on the bench, and we give a carnation for every year that we've lost somebody in the United States, from 1997 till today, there would be 3.4 million carnations. That's 3.4 million years of life that we've lost from our loved ones. That is a problem. The courts know this, and the courts are addressing this. Every single state has a drug court. Every single county in Nevada has a drug court. It is an area where we are not used to being into as judges. We are used to sanctioning and punishing. We're not used to the rehabilitation, but we're looking at it because it is a brain disease. You ask any doctor, it is a chronic brain disease. We are trying to treat it like a disease. Unfortunately, the side effects of this disease do cause harms to society. And so sometimes there is imprisonment and sometimes there's prison. That's what has to happen. But we're trying to tell the difference between an addict who commits crimes and a criminal who uses drugs. Because the criminals we take out of society, the addicts we try and help. I really don't have enough time to explain to you exactly what I do, but I'm going to tell you what I do as quickly as I can. I started a drug court. It's the only one in the nation. It's to be part of my court, your family members have to participate. And all the other judges, they're like, how do you do that? You don't have any jurisdiction over the family members. And I tell them, well, they don't have to participate. They just sign a contract, and if they don't do what they're supposed to, their kids go to jail. And amazingly, it works. I've taken the philosophy that my participants are addicted to drugs and the parents are addicted to the kids. So I'm working with two different addictions. And believe it or not, my program is not for the participants. It is for the families. And you can ask any of them, they still think it's for the kids, and they join up because they want to save their kids, but in the process, what we try and do is we try and save the families. And the reason why is because we are not educated appropriately on how to deal with a loved one that has addiction. And I'm going to quickly try and tell you how I explain it to the families. We have all been raised that we do everything that we can for our loved ones. That's the way we're raised. We do everything we can for our kids. But you can't do that when you have a loved one who suffers with the disease of addiction. To make it easy to understand, I'm sure many people know what lupus is. Lupus is an autoimmune disease. And what happens with lupus is when you get sick, your body releases so many antibodies that it not only attacks the bad cells, but it attacks the good cells. So you get sicker because of your own body. So that when you go to a doctor and you're a normal person, what the doctor does is he gives you antibiotics, which only makes you sicker. So most lupus patients get diagnosed because they go to the doctor and they end up in the emergency room because the doctor gave them what was killing them. So what you have to do when you have a doctor and you know a patient has lupus, you have to treat them different than you would the normal person. Well, that's the same thing we have to do with addiction. What we do as a general population is we love what we believe is love the ones who suffer from addiction. What we really do is we enable them. We treat them the way that we've always treated them and we've been taught to treat them, but you cannot do that the same. It is the same as giving a lupus patient antibiotics. So we teach the parents. We teach them how not to enable. We teach them to tell their kids that I love you too much to watch you go down this spiral, and I do not want you part of my life while you continue to destroy yourself. We give the kids a reason to change. Not all of them get it. Not all of them get it. But I could tell you this, I started the program 5 years ago. It takes 2 years, sometimes we graduate a little bit early. So in the 5 years, it'd really be 3 years of being active in the program. I have 34 graduates. Now remember, you guys keep taking away from my time. You're really going to piss me off. Now remember, at this age group, 18 to 24 adolescents, once you go through treatment, there's a 92% chance you're going to relapse. It's not a good number. The new ASAM book that just came out, it's like the Bible for addiction. If you go to page 895 or 896, I can't remember what page, it talks about if you treat the addict, but you do not treat the family, it is a grave mistake. If a person goes through treatment and the family members do not, they are 11 times more likely to continue to use. It is scary. So if you have a loved one who's suffering with an addiction, get help yourself. Find out what you are doing right and what you're doing wrong. Now let me tell you about the 34. Keep your hand down, son. Of my 34 graduates, today my secretary and I took a look at them. 19 of them we know are doing well today because we are in contact with them. 19 we know are successful, they're working, they have a family, they're doing what they need to. 5 of them we know are not, they're using. Those 5, some of their parents are doing terrific, some of them are not. We're hoping we can get a hold of them before they die. It is a deadly disease. The rest I just don't know about, so I don't know whether they're doing well or they're not doing well. But before I end, I'm going to share with you a little story. This Saturday, I was walking, because I have this stupid thing, Fitbit, and I'm in competition, and I didn't get enough time, so I'm walking, and I get a phone call Saturday. And the call was from someone named Tammy from New York. And she said, Judge Kearns? I said, yeah. She said, hi, it's Tammy. I said, hi, Tammy. What's going on? She said, I think I need to call you just to tell you something. I said, what? Do I know you? And she said, my daughter is your first graduate of Yogurt. And immediately I thought, uh-oh, we have a problem. And she said, I want you to know that today is the anniversary where my daughter's 5 years clean. She said, remember the sub shop that she worked, the first job you got her? I said, yeah. She said, she bought it last week. So folks, there's hope. It's tough, but there's hope. So if we took my 34 graduates and we applied Black Monday, and I think when they're in recovery, we give them a white carnation or a white flower. And we use the same math formula and said from the year I started that if I had 34 graduates and we worked them out till today, I could tell you that I have 518 white carnations today. Thanks.
Thank you, Judge Kearns. Thank you so much for coming out. We really appreciate that. As I said in the beginning, Tin High, what we do, we're real small. We we offer scholarships to people, to get into sober living houses. We give them anonymously. We figured that we didn't want to have any judgment and preference in picking people. And I got this nice letter a couple of months, a while ago now, and it was from one of our scholarship recipients, and I'd like to have her come up here and say a couple of words. Can you make it?
Hi, my name's Yaylin. Tin High basically saved my life. I was at Freedom House. My story's a little bit different. My mom died from alcohol, and I decided I OD'd 4 times with no help, and luckily came out of it. And one day I just decided to get sober, and I showed up at Freedom House, and they helped me. And sorry, I'm getting like emotional because somebody that gave me like my first plate of food, a sweater, they're all here. And then my best friend that her dad passed from an overdose. She's here with me tonight too. So tonight's like a really special night for me. I can't tell you that a year ago, I was putting a needle in my arm, and this year I'm expecting my son, and I'm sober. So I'm just really grateful. Tin High basically saved my life because if I got kicked out of Freedom House, I didn't know where I was gonna go. There's really not that many resources for people on heroin. So I just wanna say thank you so much. You guys saved my life, and today is just like, I'm having my son and life is awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Well, shoot, I think everybody's good on time. I think we're even 5 minutes ahead of schedule. Does everyone want to come back up? Our last speaker, Stephen Rush, is turned out to be a close friend. I met him at a gala that Tin High was invited to attend, and he was there, and he gave me his card.